Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Okay, so my speech starts out with, hello, everyone, I'm Ron, and this is my lovely wife, Tammy, but we already went through that. And unlike Kyle, I'm not a public speaker, so I'd like to thank everybody for coming to celebrate Dana and Shane's wedding day. And as a parent, you always wonder where your kids are going to end up when they're young. And I'm so proud of Dana and the decisions and choices she made to bring her to today, which has been awesome. Two lighthearted stories here to tell. Dana probably doesn't even remember this one, but she was probably about 3 or 4 years old, and I was picking her up from from preschool. And the teacher pulled me aside and said, I just want to tell you a little story here because it was Talk About Your Dad Day. So I said, so what's up? And she said, well, this is what Dana said, and quote, my daddy makes meat, he brushes my hair, and someday I'm going to marry him. And the teacher thought that was really hilarious, so I explained to her that I was a butcher by trade, and I spent a lot of time picking the knots out of her hair, and she was a little confused on the whole idea of marriage. So I said I'd have that discussion with her. Yeah. You probably don't even remember that, do you? Yeah. Grandma probably does. I got a quick story to tell you about how I met Shane. And back in the day, we had a family ball team, and we all played together. And this sport bike rolls in with my daughter on the back, so I'm looking, and I'm like, what do we have here? So it took a little while, but eventually she brought Shane over to introduce us. And it was a little bit awkward at first, but I don't know if you remember this. But Dana went out onto the field, and I said, you don't plan on putting her on the back of that bike, do you? And he said, no. And I said, well, how did she get here then? So he didn't know what to say, so he just kind of wandered off. Later, I explained to him that I was just messing with him, just to be safe on the bike, right? So you remember that story, right? Yeah. Well, those are my stories.
Oh, no.
And Tammy's been just chawing at the bit.
Oh, yes.
To speak, so I'll pass it over to her.
I usually... All right. Everybody hear me okay? Too much? No? The last 2 kid weddings that we did, I didn't prepare a speech. I did just the last minute, but I don't know. I felt a little nervous about this one, so I did prepare it, but I don't think I'm going to read it because it's just weird. So I'm Dana's stepmom. I'm Tammy. As her dad said, we're so very proud today of you both. I've had the privilege of sharing a lot of funny memories with Dana. There's a lot I had to choose from, but I'm going to talk about the one and I took Nikayla and Dana on their grad trip. We went camping. And we went to a ball tournament in Enderby. And, it's their grad trip, and I'm the cool stepmom, I'm the cool mom, and it was a drinking occasion, and the girls had never been, we had just sort of blended ourselves, so it was maybe a year or 2 after we got together, and we started playing Cards of Humanity or whatever right in the middle of the day. We're literally middle of the hot summer day, and we're drinking, and they're drinking, and I'm just pushing it on. All of a sudden, Dana's in the trailer, and I'm like, oh shit, it's like 2:00 in the afternoon, and we got a game tomorrow. Anyway, she wasn't feeling very well, but I thought, I got to make a good impression, right? So I go in and I laid her on the couch in the trailer, and then I laid on the floor beside her on the ground. And I'll never forget, she looked up and she said, "Oh, you're here. You're still here." And I'm like, "Yes, I've got you. And then she will always tell that story that I stuck by her the whole time. So then I knew things were okay. I'm going to back up. When one of the first times I went over and had dinner with the kids, and when we started dating, I was buttering my toast or something. Maybe it was a breakfast. And I buttered my toast, and then, you kind of butter it, and then you scrape the butter back into the dish. And I don't know if you remember this, you looked over, "Did you just put the knife back into the butter dish with the stuff on it?" I'm like, "What?" And I was just terrified. I'm like, shit, I got my work cut out for me here, right? I'm like, Adam was easy, but Dana, I'm like, oh shit. Anyway, so once we did the whole ball tournament thing, and then I knew, okay, I'm okay. I'm all good. Moral of the story is, Dana, you wear your heart on your sleeve, just like your dad, which is why I love you so much. Shane, you got a really wild firecracker on your hands there, but we're glad that you're there to help us take up the slack a little bit. And we'd like to welcome you to our Gringler family. So, Shane, welcome to our family, and cheers to the bride and groom. Well, that's it.
Okay, we're done.
We're good. We're done.
You can take it.
I can take it.
Thank you, Ron and Tammy. All right, next up to the podium, Shane's dad. I would like to invite John Groot up to the podium for his speech.
Well, as you know, I'm Shane's dad. I had a little part in putting him on this earth. I just want to tell a couple of little stories about Shane, Dana, that I hope you know what you're getting yourself into. When Shane was about, I want to say about 4 years old, we were shopping for a piece of stereo equipment at, pardon me? 3, okay. I stand corrected. At any rate, we were at West Edmonton Mall, and I had Sarah and his sister, Shlev and his sister Sarah. Pardon me? Yeah, okay. At any rate, we'll get to the story here, all right? Okay. So anyways, I went to the counter to pay for my stereo equipment, and I said to the girls, keep an eye on Shane. So I made the transaction. I looked down. Where's Shane? Gone. So I said to the girls, where's Shane? I don't know. So now I'm getting a little frantic. So I'm running around International Stereo in the store there looking for Shane. Gone like that, gone. And so now I'm getting really scared because I look out the door at International Stereo and there's people walking everywhere. You've been to West Edmonton Mall, I'm sure you've seen it. I mean, it's a busy place. And here's a little guy, 3 years old, gone. So then we called security, and security started looking for him. They started looking for him all over the store. No Shane, gone. Just like that, and now I'm sweating because I'm thinking, somebody could have grabbed him, all these things that go through your mind, right? So anyways, we called security. He was gone for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, something like that. Anyways, we get a call from security that they found him. Well, where they found him was in a woman's clothing store. Okay. And not only that, they told us that, how they have the round carousels with all the dresses and stuff on. Well, he was running through the carousels with his hands like this, having the time of his life, right? And so I'm madder than a hornet, seriously. Like I don't know whether to love him or loathe him, you know what I mean? Because I was happy that he was found, but I was so freaking mad at him for taking off, right? So there he is with all these girls. Like, seriously, all the sales clerks were there. They had balloons. I think they were feeding him candies. It's like, so what could you do, right? So anyways, Dana, I didn't know whether you knew Shane at that very young age was a cross-dresser. So just so you know. And then there was another time we were living in Stettler, and Shane decided to do some artwork on the side of my van with a rock. So, anyways, we won't go into that story. But with Shane, I don't know, most of you know him, I hope. He'll always drag you into doing some kind of thing, right? Whether it's tying a rope behind his car and putting a big tube around, like a tire tube, and then dressing you all up in a snowmobile suit and a helmet and everything else, and then he's dragging you behind his car up Carmi doing like God knows what kind of speed, and then he thinks it's a hoot that that you fall off and you're rolling into the tree somewhere, and he's laughing, right? Or whether he's dragging you into making a video. He had me doing a video. Is it real? Is it what? Pardon me? Yeah. Just say no more, right? So, anyways, all that aside, Dana, I want to welcome you into the group clan, and I have a couple of little things that, they'll speak for themselves. So. First off, the t-shirt's in the car. Anyways, we'll get that to you. First off, there's a little Groot, okay? It's a little Christmas Groot, and we're kind of hinting. I was talking to your dad. And we would like to become grandparents. We're just kind of throwing that out there, okay? And I did have a talk with Shane about the birds and the bees way back when he was playing hockey. And so he knows all about that sort of thing. So that's for you. And then we found these glasses with little Groots on them. So there's 4 of those, 2 for you and 2 for your children. Okay. And the really neat thing is it says Marvel on the back, so it'd be a real marvel if that were to happen. Okay. And what else have I got here? Oh, I got a little put together Groot. It's a keychain thing. I'm looking into the tickle trunk here. What else have I got? Oh, another glass. Okay. Oh, and another glass. And I did have a t-shirt that said I am Groot on it. I don't know where that went. But that's for you as well because you're being welcomed into the Groot clan. So, and that's all I have. But wasn't that a wonderful wedding this afternoon? I mean, seriously, the weather couldn't have been better. It was hot, but no wind. And I'm telling you, it was absolutely wonderful. So welcome, Dana, into our family.
Thank you, John. I've also been dragged behind a truck up Carmi many a times and dragged into many videos. I did not complain. So next up to the podium, I would like to ask Shane's mom, Marina, up to give her speech.
Hello, everyone. I am Rena, mother of the very handsome groom. Oh, and I forgot my wine glass. Darn, because we're going to do a toast. Thank you. So I just want to say thank you, everyone, for being here and making this day so special for Shane and Dana. Thank you. And thank you to the bridesmaids and the groomsmen. You did a fabulous job and you all look wonderful. And thank you to everyone who traveled for great distances. This is really, really special to celebrate this beautiful event with Shane and Dana. And I am very honored that Dana asked me to share a few things about Shane that you most likely don't know. But first, I want to take a moment to express my love and support for Shane and my new daughter-in-law as they embark on this new chapter of their lives together. And so many of the things I wanted to say, it sounds like they've been said, but I wrote it down, so I have to say it. So, Shane, who would have thought that one day you'd be marrying the cute girl across the road? That was pretty amazing. And you have found a woman who is very loving, determined, adorable, organized, and a very special co-conspirator who supports you in all of your wild adventures. And I'm so happy for you. So Dana is truly one of a kind. I know this is about Shane, but I just had to mention this. And I couldn't be happier now, Dana, that you're part of our family. And I'm not going to cry. So now for a few Shane stories. Shane's dad just told my West Edmonton Mall story. But one thing he didn't say was this was my very first clue that Shane was an independent guy who was going places. And once when Shane was very young, we were watching a video and Shane was playing with his Lego and he seemed like he was totally in another world. He wasn't paying any attention to the video. And so just for fun, I said, Shane, did you hear the story at all? And he said, this is funny. He said, would you like me to tell you the actual story? And I thought, whatever does that mean? And so I said, sure. And he went, welcome, boys and girls, to the exciting family of Stories That Live. On this video, you will hear. And he told the whole freaking story. Word for word. I was like, who is this kid? My mind was blown. I thought, this kid is amazingly sharp. He has an absolutely brilliant mind. There's no way on earth I could repeat a story verbatim. You just got the very intro that I remember. That was it. He told the whole thing. So when he was 6, Shane dressed in knight's armor, and you saw his picture of him dressed all in armor, and that was for his sister Sheila Vallis's medieval birthday party. And everyone that came, we had a big scroll and we said, please come and have a song, have a poem, have a play, whatever. So we had a little play made up where somebody was supposed to come and steal Queen Shalev Alice's crown, because she's the queen of the day, right? And so someone stole the crown and Shane was supposed to go and rescue the crown from this bad person. And so he went chasing after this person with his little armor on, beat him up, got the crown back, took it to Queen Shalev, who very graciously told him to kneel down, and she had a sword and she dubbed him Sir Shane the Lion-Hearted. So guess where his thing about medieval stuff came from? That was the genesis for his becoming the courageous, amazing Penticto Knight. And Kyle, you're not the only one that was dragged behind a vehicle up on the mountain. And it's so cool now that Dana is the fair maiden who accompanies Shane on all of his gallant exploits. So when Dana and I met, and back to Dana, but when Dana and I met, I thought, this girl looks like she could be my daughter. And I don't know if you know, but my daughters are all blonde-haired, blue-eyed. And so, daughters, can you stand? Yeah, stand for a sec. These are my beautiful daughters. Stand. She'll have stand up. Savannah, stand up. They do not look like my daughters, I'm sorry to say, as much as Dana did. And so we'd go into stores shopping together, and people would say, is this your mom or is this your daughter? And we'd go, no. But no, she is. She's my daughter-in-law. Yay! So another thing I think is so cool is Dana is so supportive of Shane. Like you've seen her dress in her medieval dress with her little elf ears. She helps with photography. She enthusiastically encourages him to be the best Shane possible. So as a mom, that just does my heart so much good, knowing that Shane is in such good hands with this beautiful woman. So Dane's family, I just want to say, has welcomed Shane and given him a Penticton family. So all of Dana's family, I just want to thank you for that. That was so very special of you. Dana already knows this, but for those of you who aren't aware of this, Shane has a very romantic side. Look out, Shane. A few years ago, Shane decided to spare no expense to make this Valentine's Day for Dana very, very special. So he went to Value Village to find the very best deals that he could. So I got to walk around with him. We found candles, a lovely vase for roses, and also not wanting to spare any expenses, he went to the dollar store and got fairy lights. And made a beautiful, beautiful, kind of like a restaurant in his kitchen, and made a beautiful dinner for her, which I hear hasn't stopped. So I think that's when Dane must have realized, I think this guy's a keeper. So Shane, Bill and I are so impressed with how you proposed to Dana, and we saw a little bit of that in the video too. It was so special. So thank you for taking us all along on your video journey of Dana and you starting off as little teeny people and growing up to be such beautiful people. Shane, looking at the man you have become, I am so proud of what you have accomplished through your talents, your creativity, your skill, your hard work. You are an amazing son. And don't panic, I'm almost done. So you are a great strategist. You're very caring. You're very authentic. And as far as I'm sure all of his groomsmen could attest, you are a very faithful friend. And you are fearlessly yourself, which is amazing. So I'm excited to see what the future holds for you and Dana. So Bill and I wish you both a lifetime of love, laughter, and joy. May you always cherish and support each other. So as we raise a glass to this happy couple, I want to say, Dana and Shane, you don't toast yourselves, but you're welcome to. I want to say that you are loved by probably everyone in this room. May your love story be as beautiful and unforgettable as the two of you are. To Shane and Dana.
All right, next up we have me. Wow. All right. I don't write speeches. I've never written a speech. I didn't write, the only time I've written anything down is a vow. Last year. Other than that, I don't write anything down. It's all off the top of the head. And this is probably one of the only other times I've ever written anything down, and it's fucking hard. So now I'm going to read. Hello again, everyone. For those of you who've already forgotten who I am from the introductions, my name is Kyle Alec, and I have the incredible honor of being Shane's best man. I was told to keep this short and sweet. Apparently the bar isn't going to drink itself, but I do want to take a few moments to talk about my best friend. I first met Shane back in 2015 when we were both serving the good people of Earl's in Penticton. I was a bartender, an artist with the shaker, and Shane was in the kitchen, a poet with a frying pan. Our friendship began as all great love stories do, because of Pokemon. I saw him on his break, staring intently. He was just playing on his phone. I wasn't sure what it was, and I asked, "Is that Pokemon Go?" And he said, "Yeah." And in that moment of pure inspiration, I said, "I'm going on my lunch break soon. Do you want to get some Starbucks and go play Pokemon Go on the beach?" But not in that way. And folks, that was it. The spark. The moment one of history's greatest bromances were born. We've been on more adventures than Ash Ketchum. From questionable nights in Vancouver, to even more questionable nights in Kelowna, to swinging swords at Renaissance fairs, to our latest adventure in Calgary a couple weeks ago. I've had the front row seat to many and many of Shane's careers. Chef Shane, phone salesman Shane, firefighter Shane, DJ Shane, photographer Shane, videographer Shane, and of course, Penticto night. But then today, I get to see Groom Shane. And it's the best one yet. I've been staring at this blank page for weeks. How to find the words that can contest to my partner in crime. And you're the brother I chose, and endlessly thankful for you. Now, a speech isn't just about the groom. It's about the amazing person he agreed to marry. Dana, I remember the first time we met. Shane was DJing at the Parrot. And he said, "Hey, I want you to meet someone." And I turned around, and there you were looking up at me. And the first words you said to me were, "You do look like Sweet Pea." I turned around and walked away and thought to myself, who is this tiny, brutally honest person? Turns out you were the best thing that ever could have happened to that man that night. And the whole friend group, all of us, this whole room. You may be the youngest out of all of our friends and all of us, but without a doubt, you were the most mature and grounded person I know. And you've been there for me through pivotal moments in my life, similar situations, always cheering me and Sierra on. And I feel like I need to say what everyone in their speeches says, is that you're fiercely loyal, incredibly kind, and I am blessed to call you a friend. Seeing the way you love Shane has been one of the greatest joys, and you have made him a better man because of it. So, to finally summarize, I've seen your love story from the very first chapter. It's my favorite adventure you've been on, and I know without a doubt your future will be full of more happiness, laughter, hopefully fewer Renaissance costumes. And I love you both so much. So, let's raise a glass, everyone. Please stand with me to many, many more wild nights and beautiful days to the new Mr. and Mrs. Group.
I guess Kyle already kind of introduced me, but for those of you who don't know me, that's unfortunate. My name's Sierra Alec. I'm one of Dana's best friends, and today her incredibly proud matron of honor. Oh, I really thought I'd get further in. And unlike my husband, not exactly a public speaker, so please lower your expectations. I wish I could say that I've known Dana my whole life, but she's that friend who walks into your life at exactly the right time, when you didn't even know you needed her. We met on the brink of adulthood, and from the first conversation just clicked. We actually met through our now husbands. We knew of each other, but the boys don't exactly get the credit of introducing us. Dana and I bumped into each other for the first time when she was working the Starbucks drive-thru and I was trying to feed my caffeine addiction on the way to work. We chatted through my car window after realizing who the other person was, held up the line way too long, and I drove off thinking, wow, that girl's someone special. You know that phrase, to know her is to love her? That's Dana to a T. She's hardworking, fiercely loyal, incredibly resilient, and somehow still the first person to make you laugh when things get tough. We've stood by each other through heartbreaks and milestones, chaos and calm. We've shared tears and a lot more laughter, oftentimes the kind that makes your stomach hurt. Dana's been my partner in crime, my therapist, and my biggest cheerleader, oftentimes all at once. I really wouldn't be the person I am today without you, and for that I am incredibly grateful. Shane, because I guess today is about you too. Thank you. Thank you for being somebody who not only thank you for being someone who not only loves Dana for everything she is, but who matches her kindness, her strength, and her big heart. The two of you have built something really special. A relationship grounded in trust, joy, mutual respect, and just enough weirdness to keep things interesting. Dana, you really did find your knight in shining armor. A man who is chivalrous, steady, incredibly kind, and loyal. And Shane, you found someone who will love you with everything she's got, which, as we all know, is a lot. At this point, we're not just friends, we're family. Together, we've weathered moving days, job changes, heartbreaks, that turn and burn trip to Vancouver because somebody lost their wallet and couldn't fly home, and some questionable nights out. But through it all, we've done it side by side. It's been the privilege of a lifetime to have had a front row seat to your love story over the past 8 years. And I can't wait to see the rest unfold. So let's raise a glass to belly laughs, big adventures, and a love that only grows deeper with time. Here's to Shane and Dana, to the groups.
Hi, my name is Savannah and I'm an alcoholic. We're in a safe place. No, we're actually gathered here to celebrate two really incredible people. I just bet that I wasn't going to cry. Lost that one. Dana, you are kind, you are beautiful, you are funny, you are smart. You are thoughtful, you are generous, and you're basically everything I could have asked for a sister. And I know with in-laws, I have bad sisters, I'm just kidding. And I know with in-laws sometimes it can be hard, but I really, really lucked out with you. So I feel very blessed to have you in my life. Shane, we've already decided he's loyal, fiercely loyal, determined, hardworking, hilarious, protective, loving, stubborn, incredibly supportive, a great chef, a great friend, an insanely talented DJ. Shane, I can't read your handwriting here. What am I supposed to say next? Oh, yeah, I'm not saying that. Hi, everyone. I'm Savannah. I'm the brand new sister-in-law of Dana and the groom's lifelong little sister. I'm actually a radio host by profession, which is incredibly uncomfortable right now that I'm shaking. I talk for a living, and this is weird. put me in front of a bunch of people I love, and all of a sudden I'm 12 acting one of Shane's YouTube videos again. Here we go. I heard last night was interesting. Growing up, Shane has always been full of energy, creativity, and ambition. Building elaborate forts, learning to play the violin, dressing up in army gear, making homemade videos, absolutely crushing it at Guitar Hero, and always running a side hustle on the side. Anyone want a phone? Yet somehow, he's still doing it all today. Just with bigger forts, fancier gear, and TikToks that actually go viral. He's also one of the most caring and thoughtful people I know. Once, while paintballing, his friend Jacob Field accidentally shot a crow, and Shane tried to give the crow CPR. He also took care of a little boy with special needs, became a role model for so many, and always looked out for the people around him. Shane has always been known for his huge heart and reliability. If he says he will be there for you, he 100% will be, even if that's picking you up from the Kelowna airport at 4 a.m. in a snowstorm. And of course, we can't forget Shane's lifelong dreams. Growing up, he had some ambitious career goals. First, he wanted to be a tractor. No, not drive a tractor. He wanted to be a tractor. When he found out that wasn't exactly possible, he aimed even higher. A plane. And when that reality crushed that dream also, he finally settled on the next best thing. Marrying Asian twins. Well, you're not a plane, and I mean Dana's. Yeah. But you became a knight. And side quest after side quest, adventure after adventure, until he finally found his main storyline, meeting Dana. Along the way, he discovered he was, let's just say, the Dovahkiin of love. He slayed his metaphorical Alduin and ultimately took an arrow to the knee. If you don't know Skyrim, that's your problem. How did this main quest come to be? Well, our family moved around a lot when we were kids, a lot. And we finally settled in Penticton. Shane was 14. We moved to Defoe Place. You know the story. Dana's across the road. However, a couple houses down lived Alex, who would become Shane's lifelong best friend. And immediately across the road, his wife. I actually met Dana first. Shane and Dana have told me this story, but I didn't really remember this. Apparently, we used to walk through the neighborhood, Dana and I. I was the weird penis kid. I'd point out every single object that looked phallic. Who knew the last one she'd end up with would be my brothers? But here's the twist. Shane and Dana, they didn't reconnect until years later on Tinder. And at that point, I was living in Vancouver, and I'd heard that Shane was bringing his new girlfriend to our grandma's funeral. I'll be honest, I was a little hesitant. It's a bold move. But when we were on the beach, releasing grandma's ashes, in what can only be described as an extremely on-brand moment for the group family, the winds of change appeared, and all the ashes came flying right back into our faces. Dana didn't run. She didn't panic. She didn't even flinch. She just laughed with us, right there in the middle of one of life's most awkward and weirdly funny moments. She looked at me with grandma on her face, and I knew she was perfect for our family. Over the years, I've fallen in love with Dana myself. Her kindness, her humor, and her patience with our family. You always hear horror stories of in-laws, but Dana's great. This year has been full of love, joy, and an ache of absence. Dana's mother is not here with us, and I know how much she is missed. There's a quiet space at this wedding where she should be, and yet, even in the absence, Her presence is impossible to ignore. I can feel her in Dana's smile, in the way she reaches for Shane's hand, in the warmth she radiates to everyone around her. If she could be here today, I know she'd be holding Dana close, shedding a few tears, probably smiling through them, overwhelmed with joy to see her daughter marry someone who cherishes her as much as Shane does. Even though we cannot hug her, even though she cannot stand beside us, she is here, in our hearts, in every cheer, in every smile, in every tear. Watching Shane and Dana together reminds me of a line from Lord of the Rings. When Aragorn said to Arwen, "I would rather spend one lifetime with you than face all the ages of this world alone." And honestly, after everything you two have faced together, that line has never rung truer. You've survived an unexpected and wild birthday in Vegas with cockroaches, getting trucks stuck in the snow with no cell service, deciding who's invited to this wedding, and even watching the Oilers lose the cup. Oh my God. 2 years in a row. You're each other's home. In a world where nothing is perfect, you're each other's perfect. So let's raise our glasses. I don't have one, but to Shane and Dana. May your love be brave and bold like every great knight's quest. And may you always face life's adventures together, hand in hand. May your days be filled with laughter, your hearts with joy, and may the love of those who came before you always be with you, guiding you and celebrating you in every step of the way. Here's to a lifetime of happiness, love, and shared quests.
Whose idea was it to make me follow that? Well, I wrote this morning, so enjoy. Anyone who doesn't know, I'm Dana's brother, and I gotta say, congratulations to Dana for living her Disney fairy tale. Today she married her knight in shining armor, the popular DJ, the famous Instagram influencer, and now she is Groot. The amount of times I've watched Dana walk down the hall, walk towards me in fury, walk towards me with food. But seeing her walk towards me down the aisle today, just, I don't know if it was allergies or what, but we'll go with that, okay? Something hit different. When I first met Shane, I don't think I liked him very much. I was walking home in a snowstorm, and a car pulls up beside me. It's Dana, and she goes, "This is Shane. We'll give you a ride home." I'm good. I'll walk. I think that changed because within a few years we're living together, and now we literally go into the mountains with nothing but a camera and some costumes. I would say welcome to the family, but I can't count the amount of times I've been able to call you family. From living together to being with us through such hard times to being stuck in snowstorms together and having no cell service, as you have heard. By the way, I've heard a lot of complaints about going up Carmi with him. I'm the only guy that's modifying his truck to go up Carmi with you. So, keep that in mind. Our mom obviously passed away earlier this year, but a story that always stuck with me was one of the first interactions with her that Shane had with her. He was swinging golf balls outside of her house towards our house, on a tether, mind you, but I don't think Mom knew that. So she comes out in a bit of a panic and says in the nicest way to stop until she realizes the situation. And I think it was in that moment that Shane knew he had to take the ultimate revenge. I'm going to marry your daughter. So, but I really think she would be okay with that. I know how much she loved you. And I'd say let's raise a glass, but that's overplayed, and I am done drinking. I gotta pee. So, let's raise the key instead. Let's raise the key. Here's to family. That's it. Woo!
now that everyone in the room's made me cry. Just a sec. Hello, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I fear you might be at the wrong wedding. I'm Jess. I have the pleasure of being Dana's maid of honor, best friend of almost 10 years on November 26th, but who's counting? And keeper of way too many embarrassing stories that I probably shouldn't tell today, but we'll see how the drinks go. Dana and I met in high school. It was grade 11 for me. I had just moved to Penticton, hard age to change schools. It was really lonely up until I met Dana. Meeting Dana was like being reunited with somebody who my soul was tied to, like it was home. Dana and her family quickly became everything that I had, and they made sure that I was treated like their own, especially when Dad grounded us for stealing people's ends off their cars. About 50 of them, to be exact. Sorry, Grandma. Dana and I have been through everything together. Bad haircuts, worse exes, really big potholes, nights out we barely remember, and heart-to-hearts that we'll never forget. I've had the privilege and disadvantage of seeing all sides of her, but my favorite is seeing her now as a wife, strong, beautiful, and radiant with love. When Shane came around, I was skeptical. I guess offering to take a girl halfway up the mountainside after dark on a random Thursday for a first date comes off a little weird. So, Shane, there are other ways to ask somebody to go stargazing with you. Anyway, that's how I ended up third-wheeling the first date to make sure that my best friend wasn't about to get Ted Bundy'd up some forestry road. Yeah. I remember looking out the back window and looking at the two of them together, and I saw the way that she looked at him, like he was her home. And I saw the way that he looked at her, like she was the only person in the world. And I realized, shit, he's one of us now. No escape. Shane, you are so patient, charismatic, and supportive. Thank you. Thank you for loving Dana the way that she deserves, for being her calm, her cheerleader, her best friend, and her biggest supporter. But most importantly, thank you for being her safe space. You two balance each other out in the best way. She brings the sparkle and you keep things grounded. Together, you're the perfect team. Now I want to take a quick moment just a moment to acknowledge somebody who isn't physically here with us today, but who's absolutely here with us in spirit. Kathy, Dana and Adam's beautiful mom. I know today is filled with joy, but it's also filled with a quiet kind of ache. The kind that only comes when someone so loved is so deeply missed. And while I can't speak for her, I know this. She's beyond proud of the woman that you are, the strength that you carry, and the love that you built with Shane. I'm proud too. You've shown more grace, grit, and more heart than most people ever will. Standing by your side today, watching you walk into this new chapter is one of the greatest honors of my life. So let's raise our glasses to love, to laughter, to mom, to resilience, and to a marriage that's built not just on passion, but partnership, patience, and a whole lot of inside jokes. To Dana and Shane, may your love be louder than life's hardest moments, and may you always remember that you're never truly alone. Thanks.
Thank you, Jess. So that was Dana's longest childhood friend. And our final speaker this evening is Shane's longest childhood friend. An amazing man. The best man. His name is Alex.
I don't do public speaking, so you've got this. Oh, that's my wife wrote that. Good evening, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Alex, and I've had the privilege of knowing Shane for nearly 18 years. I had to do the math. That's over half of both of our lives. It's a long time. I still remember the very first time I saw him. He had just moved in, and I looked up the street and I saw this kid in full military fatigues. A shaved head, swinging a sword around. At the time, I thought, this guy's either going to be my best friend or he's going to end up on the evening news. Where am I? Thankfully, it was option 1. Although I do admit, I've never ruled out option 2 completely. And Shane, I have to say, your hair does look a lot better now. What's funny is that neither of us realized it then, but his future wife, Dana, was right beside us the whole time. Growing up next door, one of our earliest interactions with her family was Dana's mom being convinced we were shooting golf balls at her house. I'm glad it was a core memory for more than just me. We had to explain that they were on a string and it was practice, so it was fine. No windows were broken. From a young age, Shane and I spent the majority of our time together behind or in front of the camera working on some kind of harebrained idea. From borrowing my dad's old camera to make war movies, to entering and winning video contests, and continuing through so many projects since, Shane has always been chasing big creative dreams. Those dreams have become reality as he's become the Penticton Knight. With over 200,000 followers. Had to pump you up a little bit. Yeah. Shane. He started his own media company and has kept building on that same spark that he's always had. Watching him grow as a videographer, but especially as a friend, a man, and now a husband, has been one of my greatest privileges. Now, Dana, I don't think I have to warn you about too much. You've been with Shane long enough to see it all, meaning costume changes when it's nearly 30 below, or turning your garage into a green screen TikTok studio, or even unexpectedly casting you in videos. What I appreciate about you is that you don't go just along for the ride, but you make every adventure more fun for all of us. And don't worry, it's usually me getting hurt in our adventures anyway. Broken tooth, ending up in hospital, cactus in the hand, falling off the bike. There's more. Shane has always been calm under pressure, such as the time that we were in full military gear playing airsoft as a vineyard when a cop showed up. I panicked. I don't deal well under pressure like this. Shane just charmed him, and we ended up laughing. It has always been a staple of our friendship. Him always calm while I'm having a panic attack. But I want to thank you for pushing me out of my comfort zone and helping me grow. What I love most about Shane is that he's never lost a sense of fun, letting his inner kid out, and what makes him creative, adventurous, and unforgettable. It also encourages the rest of us to let loose and have fun. He may not always have the most safest choices. We've got scars to prove them. But today, standing here with Dana, he's definitely made his best decision. Dana, you bring out the best in Shane. You make him better, calmer, sometimes, and happier than I have ever seen him in 18 years. But you also mean so much to me and Joe. We really feel lucky because you've never just been Shane's girlfriend or fiance or now just his wife. You quickly became our friend too. So please raise a glass to Shane and Dana. May your life together be filled with love, laughter, and adventure. We love both of you very much.
Can I just say one more thing? Just really quick.
Yep. All right, Ron would like to say one final thing.
Yes. Okay, when I got back to my seat and I reviewed my notes, at the very end it said, "Go hug your daughter and your new son-in-law," and I walked out.
That's so cute. The thing I love about weddings and speeches is that no matter who comes up here, like I could probably pick anyone out of this crowd at any table, any person, and any of you could probably do a story like that. All of you have stories like that you could say, and that's amazing. The bride and groom have a thank you speech they would like to do before so. So I'd like to invite up Shane and Dana Groot to the podium.
Hello, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Shane Groot. I don't know, everyone else did it so well, I thought I'd give it a try. We'd like to take a couple of minutes to thank everyone for being here and supporting us. It means so much to see all the people that we love in this room. There are a few people who went above and beyond to help us make this wedding happen, so we'd like to acknowledge them personally. I'm done.
I wasn't going to introduce myself, but I'm going to. My name is Dana Groot. Okay. Firstly, I want to take a moment to honor someone very special who isn't here physically, but has certainly been honored all night. My beautiful mom, whose presence I felt all day. She was my biggest supporter, my guiding light, and the one who made so much of today possible. She helped us in countless ways. She took me to pick out my dress, and she looked at me in this dress and said, "You have to buy this dress." I tried on 13 more, put this one back on, everybody cried again, and that's the one I went with. So this dress not only was my dream dress, but it was my mom's dream dress, so it means a lot to me. My mom also took care of our food and bar bill tonight, so thank you, Mom, for taking care of that for us. She was always there to talk through every little detail with me with so much love and excitement. And I miss you terribly, but I know you're here with us tonight. And I know that she would be so happy with the day that we made happen today. Okay, first of all, I want to thank our incredible bridal party. We have Sierra, Kyle, Jess, Alex, Mackenzie, Adam, Savannah, Connor, Allie, Wade, Steph, and Landon. Thank you guys so much for standing by us today and for being such a steady, loving presence in our lives. We chose you all for a reason because we love and appreciate all that you do for us. Jolene, our amazing day of coordinator, thank you so much for making today. Thank you so much for making today happen. Everything was executed flawlessly, and I know you worked tirelessly today to make sure everything was set up exactly where it needed to be. And on that same note, thank you to all my siblings for getting up early and helping set up, trying to kick out that stupid baby shower behind us. I heard we have plans for them, so I'm not worried about it. Thank you guys so much for all the work that you did. Everything was placed perfectly. I couldn't have asked for a better group of people to help me set up our wedding, so thank you. To our wonderful parents, thank you for always being there for us, through all the highs and lows, making us laugh and for guiding the way for us.
Oh, it's me.
Now I'm done.
Enjoy. Yeah, thank you again for always being there for us. Oh, no, that's already been written.
The one that says Shane.
I'm dyslexic. Thank you all for being here to celebrate this news chapter with us. We feel so loved, and we love you all right back.
Tell me that was authentic.
Now, hope everyone's ready to tear up the dance floor.